Students, we have completed with the first unit, that is electrochemistry, in the first module, and then now we'll have to go for the unit 2, that is energy storage systems. Energy storage systems, we have to discuss about the introduction, classification, examples, construction and working of nickel metal hydride and lithium ion batteries, applications. So this all we have to discuss in the second unit, that is energy storage systems. Students, first will have to understand what are batteries. The conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy is a function of cells or batteries. So we have already discussed in the first unit, that is electrochemistry, a galvanic cell, a cell which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. So we have understood the function of the cell is the conversion of the energy. So here a cell is a single unit. A cell is a single unit. Whereas a battery, if you take it, a battery is an arrangement of two or more cells usually connected in series or parallel to supply the necessary current or voltage or both. So we can define the batteries like this. So there may be combination of cells, maybe a combination of 4 cells, 5 cells or 8 cells, or maybe only 2. So this combination of cells, when they may be connected in series or parallel, so they will supply the necessary current or voltage. The battery was the first practical source of electrical energy developed when man searched for portable power sources. Portable power sources, the battery was first practical source of electrical energy. So we have from which we are getting what? From the battery, electrical energy. So this is the first portable power source. So although many other techniques have been developed for supplying electric power, the battery is still the most widely used source of electrical power when portability is the prime requisite. Batteries are used in, so if you go on listing out where we are using the battery, students, so if you start listing out what are the, where exactly we are using the batteries. So batteries are used in watches, hearing aids, flashlights, radio sets, electric clocks, photo flash devices, emergency lighting, rescue devices, tape recorders, alarm systems, space vehicles and military applications. So you can see that we are using batteries everywhere. No field is left out where we are not using the batteries. So much we are dependent on the batteries nowadays. So this is about the introduction of the batteries. Now let us go for components of the batteries. So in the components of the battery, so basic electrochemical unit in a battery is galvanic cell. And the major components of the batteries are, anode. We have anode here. So it releases electrons to the external circuit undergoing oxidation during electrochemical reactions. So that is anode, and here usually anode is taken, so which undergoes easily oxidation. Now next is cathode. It accepts electrons. So here cathode, it accepts electrons from the external circuit. Reduction of an active species occurs. So cathode, how it should be? It should easily undergo reduction. Okay, so such kind of cathodes are usually taken. So next comes electrolyte. A solution of an acid, alkali or salt having high ionic conductivity is commonly used as electrolyte. So that is taken as the electrolyte. Next comes separator. So separator, as the name itself defines, it separates the anode and the cathode in a battery to prevent internal short circuiting. It is permeable to the electrolyte and maintain desired ionic conductivity. So its main function is what? Separator main function is to separate ions or separates the constituents of the anodic compartment from cathodic compartment. So here you can use vinyl polymers or Nepean membranes can be used as separators. So these are the components of the batteries. Now let us go for operation of a battery. Now how the battery works. There are two important processes in a battery. So these are discharging and recharging. Discharging. So when the battery functions, the process we are using the battery. So the process it is undergoing is discharging. So discharging means already we have seen how the galvanic cell works. Means when the battery is undergoing discharging process means it works as a galvanic cell. Students, you already know that it works as a galvanic cell means at anode oxidation reaction takes place and at cathode reduction reaction takes place. So these two are the reactions taking place in discharging process. Next, one more process is there, that is recharging, or we simply call it as charging. So in case of charging, the reactions taking place in galvanic cell get reversed. So they reverse back because we are applying the external current, the extra current what the cell is giving, so extra current than that, so that whatever the reactions are taking place at anode and cathode, they will get reversed. So these are the two important operations taking in a battery. So now we will have to go for classification of batteries. Now there are three types of batteries we have to learn: primary batteries, secondary batteries and reserve batteries. So as you know students, batteries are nothing but the combination of cells. So these are also called as primary cells or primary batteries, secondary cells or secondary batteries and reserve cells or reserved batteries. So let us go for the first one, that is a primary cell. A primary cell is one in which electrical energy can be obtained at the expense of chemical energy only as long as the active materials are still present. Once these have been consumed, the cell cannot profitably rejuvenated and must be discarded. So in other words, they cannot be recharged and reused. Means here in primary cells, the reactions taking place cannot be reversed back. So once the reactions will be taking place, so the back reactions are not possible here. So these batteries are like use and throw batteries. Once you cannot charge it. So as long as this active species are present in the batteries, they will function. Otherwise they cannot function. Examples for such kind of batteries are Li-MnO2 battery and Zn-MnO2 battery. So these two examples we can give it for primary cells or primary batteries. Next we'll have secondary cells or secondary batteries. A secondary cell is a cell once used can be recharged by passing current through it. So it can be used over and over again. The redox reactions gets reversed during recharging. So already we have studied students, the redox reactions means again same, that is oxidation and the redox reactions. So these two will be taking place at the anode and the cathode, and those reactions can be reversed back by supplying the current. So such cells are called as secondary cells. Since the electrical energy brings about the chemical change, it is converted into chemical energy. Thus, electrical energy is stored in the form of chemical energy and utilized for supplying the current when needed. Secondary cells are also known as storage cells. So, this kind of cells, they are going to store the energy. So, that's why they are called as storage cells or storage batteries. Now, primary cells act only as galvanic or voltaic cell. A secondary cells can act both as galvanic cell and electrolytic cell. During discharging, it acts as a galvanic cell, converting chemical energy into electrical energy. And during charging, it acts as an electrolytic cell, converting electrical energy into chemical energy. So these are, and depending on the electrolyte present in them, the secondary cells also can be classified into acid storage batteries or alkaline storage batteries. If the electrolyte present is an acid, then it is called acid storage battery, and if the electrolyte present is a base, then they are called as alkaline storage batteries. Now the last one is there, that is reserve batteries. Reserve. So by the name you should understand that something is reserved. In this type of batteries, a key component is separated from rest of the battery prior to activation. So means before using, one of the components of the battery is kept separated from others. So usually the electrolyte is the component that is isolated. Batteries which use highly active component material are designed in this form to withstand deterioration in storage and to eliminate self-discharge prior to use.